it's Deja with Knit and Crochet everafter.com, and today we're doing the Hype Holes stitch pattern. So download the pattern below, we'll get started, and I'll talk more about this after we're done. Okay, so to get started, we're going to do a multiple of 3 plus 2. So depending how wide you want it, times it by 3 and then add 2 more stitches for the first row. So I've got a chain of 11 here. And we're going to start off with a special stitch called a Y stitch, and it's going to be in the 6th chain from our hook. So this is going to create kind of that little post that we see in the finished product. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to mark that, and the Y stitch is going to be a treble crochet. So I'm going to yarn over twice, do my treble, and then I'm going to chain 1 and double crochet in the center of my treble. So I'm going to yarn over once, and I'm actually going to work into the stitch and not around it because I want it to be uniform. So I'll explain that better at the end when you see the whole thing, but go in between so you'll kind of see 2 loops that come across from the yarn overs. We're going to go between those 2 loops and just catch in the middle and do a regular double crochet. Then we're going to skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and we're going to do the same thing again. So this is our stitch pattern repeat. So we're going to treble in that 3rd chain. We're going to chain 1 and then double crochet in that center of the treble again. And you keep repeating that across until you get to the very last chain, because you're going to skip 2 again, and you'll end up with 1 chain at the very end. And in that chain, you're just going to do a treble crochet. And then we're ready for row 2. Okay, so for row 2, this is our repeating row. This is what we're going to do for the rest of the entire pattern. So it's just a 1 row repeat. We're going to chain 4, and that's going to count as a treble crochet. And then we're going to do our Y stitch, but we're going to do it in between our last Y stitch in that chain 1 space. So this time we're actually going to work around the stitch and not into it. So I'm going to do a treble crochet, a chain 1, and then do a double crochet in the center, and then same thing, I'm going to go to the next chain 1 space, not going to do anything in between my Y stitches, and do another treble, chain 1, and double, and then again we're going to get to that last stitch, and it's just going to be a treble again. So just make sure you're skipping that last Y stitch piece and you're working into the turning chain. And that's really all there is to it. Get some slack here. So we'll do 1 more row. So we'll chain 4. So it's very easy. Treble in that chain 1. Chain 1 and double in the treble, double treble, treble in the chain 1, chain 1 and double. And then that last stitch, I'm always trying to get my slack, and then we're going to go treble right in the top of that turning chain 4. So very quick to work up, gives you kind of that square look. So I'm going to pull my finished one over. So what I meant about working into the actual treble and not going around it is you can see they're all very uniform across, and they hold their place. So if I went around the chain, they would slip and slide a little just from, being moved around. You can see if I pull it every which way, it still stays uniform. So if you want that uniform look, work into the treble. If you don't really care or you want it to have kind of the slip and slide effect, then work around the treble. But this is a really simple pattern. You can easily add a border, any kind of border, single crochet, double, even treble. If you're going to do a border on the side, stick with treble crochets. So just do extra chains on your foundation chain and then treble all the way on your beginning chain and your ending stitch. So you could even do like a linked treble, which I have tutorials for, which would give it a very solid border along the edge. This is without blocking, so you can see that it holds its shape very well. The sides don't look great, so I would want to stick a border, but you could also do a border after the fact and go all the way around. So lots of stuff that you can do with this. So this is the Hype Holes stitch pattern. I'm Deja with knitandcrocheteverafter.com, and thank you for watching.